Good morning. How are you? It's wonderful to be with you here this morning. I know I'm early, but it's a big day today. How was your evening? Did you sleep? Let me know. And if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, how's your day been? Have you managed to take one step forward and do something different than you did yesterday to break your routine? My name's Linda. I'm your trauma recovery coach, and in group we provide a really safe space for everybody. And the reason we do that is because it can often be the very first time that we experience a space where we feel emotionally safe as well. I know that's how I felt when I first started in Facebook groups, over 10 years ago now. Apart from being absolutely terrified that if I pressed the like button, the whole world would come in and invade my space, I pressed the like button and realised I was okay, and then I got to talking with people and realised I was safe as well. But often those groups can be very political and, drama-filled. And we don't do that in here. We do life together and we support each other. Now, I wanted to come in today and just have a quick chat about therapy. Not from a business perspective at all, but from a personal perspective. When we first go to therapy and we've got complex PTSD, we have to have a perspective of it's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen. Okay? Hi, Wendy. And as we work towards it, it will happen, and we will become better and more able to live our life. I know when I first went to a counsellor over 20 years ago now, my first question was, because my abuse memories had surfaced, and obviously I knew what had been done to me as a child, but my question to my therapist was, what did he really do to me? Now, fortunately, she understood what I meant. It wasn't, what were all the physical aspects or the emotional aspects. I wanted to know what he really did to the inside of me. Pardon me. Oh. And fortunately, she understood the question behind the question. And she said to me, he murdered your soul. And I struggled with that for a really long time, because if he did that, then who am I? And it's been a process of evolving into that. So feel welcome to ask your therapist questions. I want you to give yourself some breathing room too, in that, as Nick did in group it's my last night, she was explaining how, she's at therapy now, and as she goes along, the therapist encourages her, stretches her, but she goes home and thinks about things, and that's a good thing, because then what we're doing when we're thinking about what the therapist says to us is implementing it into our life at a pace that we'll feel comfortable. I also want you to not give yourself a hard time if you've started in therapy and you don't know what to say, or you feel really uncomfortable talking, because when we've come through childhood, or we have childhood developmental trauma, we were never taught how to communicate. So oftentimes, and I see this in my clients too, oftentimes we either didn't know what to say, or one of the predominant things that comes through is that our caregivers, parents, etc., called us lazy, stupid, etc., etc. So when we go and see somebody we don't know, oftentimes it can be really hard for us to talk in the beginning, because of how our parents treated us, how our caregivers treated us, and we don't know if we're safe. And it's up to your therapist to create that safe environment for you, so that you feel you can be raw and honest, that you feel you can say, I don't understand this aspect, can you help me understand it better? And when they're trauma specialists, they can do that for you as well. And I think the third thing is to make a priority that each day you choose to have a different experience in your life. Now, I don't mean go out and climb a mountain, okay? Because if you'd said that to me in the beginning, I would have just said, yeah, I can't even leave the house. I'm having trouble getting out of bed. All right? So I'm talking about making one step each day that you commit to. So if I can get out of bed and go to therapy, then I can work in an order to get myself out of bed and stay on track if I'm given the right strategies. Now, the key to this is to work with a therapist that will give you strategies, okay, that are suited to you, to your life, to your culture, to your beliefs. And when they do that for you and with you, okay, so walk with you, it makes a whole different dynamic. I mean, I know for me, when I work with somebody who believes in me, it's a whole different shooting match. I walk out that door, well, I used to walk out the door, and I know that no matter what, I've got somebody who's got my back, which I never had in childhood, okay? I know somebody will listen to me and believe in me. Your therapist does need to believe in your ability to conquer one day at a time, okay? Why work and pay for somebody who doesn't believe in you? That would be my question, you know. And I think actually I want to throw a fourth thing in here, fear. Fear comes from, that's all we've ever known, okay? We can get scientific about it, absolutely. But fear is something that we choose as an individual to identify in our day-to-day life. So we identify where it's stopping me from becoming the person that I want to be and the things that I want to do. So in my life, when I first started to get out of bed, fear looked different. So the fear was, am I going to make it up the hallway and not fall over? Okay, because I had no cognitive function, so the balance was really shady. So that was my fear, but of course holding the wall helped me get there. But each step through recovery, the fear presents itself as something different, okay? And each time the fear presents itself, I'm then able to say, okay, I can do this to get around it. I can create a strategy to get around this fear because the fear is not who I am. I know that I am filled with enough love to share it around. So I am going to conquer the fear with love, okay? And it takes time. So to give you an example of where I'm at in recovery now, I've been at gym and I'd only do the bike, and today I went, I'm going to step it up. I'm going to put some weights in there as well. And I was aware how much my body reacted to the change. So I was very gentle with myself. I didn't push myself to go and conquer the weight world by any stretch of the imagination. But I went and I affirmed that I am safe. I did my 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out breathing, and I did enough. Now, when I say weights, I don't mean go and do free weights where you go and pick out what you do yourself, because my mind would just shut down because I have no idea what to do. I just mean the machines, okay, so you can sit there, choose your weight, and just move however. And look at that in your day-to-day life. How can I choose, or what can I choose to do that still will feel safe, but I'm going to conquer my fear, okay? And in doing so, we actually build up our centre of love inside ourselves because we celebrate. We go, woo, I did it. I might be in bed and crashed out for 3 hours, but I did it, okay? And we're giving our body that whole new experience today. So one of my new experiences right back in the beginning was, I can't remember how to do the washing. I can't remember how to cook. So it was a very fearful process for me to learn this again. And I was very much of the variety of person that fake it till you make it. You know, I'm absolutely scared that I don't know how to cook the sausages, but I'm going to fake it till I make it with my kids there, you know. Let's do this. And we get through it, okay? So don't be afraid of the fear. Doubt your fear, okay? Hi, Christine. So what we want to do when the fear comes up, which, you know, obviously is triggered from anxiety, am I safe? We want to start doubting our fear, all right? And replacing it with, damn it, I can do this. And if it means that I end up in bed or on a lounge chair for an hour having to rest because of the stress and strain from doing something different, then that's what has to happen. But if I get up every day and do that one activity, cook the sausages, then eventually my mind's going to get used to the fact that I know how to cook sausages again. This sounds really funny to me now, but I can assure you at the time, having to learn to cook again, all right, I felt like the village idiot. All right, how can you not remember how to cook the sausages? But the reality was I lost all my memory. Okay, so I had to have some compassion on myself. And I guess for me, I'm just determined that what happened to me as a child is not going to run the rest of my life. And I was thinking about it at gym too. I don't know if you found this. Yeah, that's good. I'm here early, Christine, because I've got a busy day again today. But I wanted you to think about this. Well, I thought about this morning, and I'm sure those of us that have had marriages fail can think about this too, or relationships fail. I've been married and divorced twice, and when I came out of my second marriage, okay, I was, you know, could barely look after myself. One of my kids was my full-time carer. But when I came out of my second marriage, I said, I'm never doing this again until whatever's on the inside of me is healed. Okay, because I've got one of my parents been married and divorced 5 times, and, you know, it's nobody else's fault. All right, it's everybody, sorry, let me rephrase that. It's everybody else's fault, and they've done nothing wrong. And I kind of took that and went, what do I need to change in me so that I can see healthy people? Okay? Yeah. Oh, that's great, Christine. Christine says, now I don't feel so stupid. I struggle with reading, so cooking is pretty boring right now. Yeah. And look, in the beginning, it was, look, I have to admit, I cried because I couldn't read. Reading has been my lifeline since I was a child. So I was the kid that in high school went to the library after school and borrowed like 4 books at a time, because reading was my lifeline to there had to be a better life than this. So I understand, but I can read again now. I'm able to have that length of time in my brain healed enough that I can read now, thankfully. One of the things I did though, Christine, was brain training online to help my brain create longer periods of time of focus. I have to be honest, I didn't know what was ahead of me at the time. I didn't know how much it would take to be well, but I just wanted to be well more than I wanted to live this life that had been taken away from me. So we can do it, it just takes time. Yeah, we can do it, Wendy, we can. And it is about retraining our brain and having a different experience in our day-to-day life. I was very lonely at the time, and how do you explain to people, you know, I had no language at the time. You know, I can't stay focused on what I'm doing. And I had to hide a lot of it. You know, pretend that, do the usual that we do, mask it and pretend, I'm okay, I can manage this. Yeah, and we are doing it. That's right. Okay, lovelies, I've got to go. It's been wonderful sharing time with you. And take the information, use it with your therapist and say, I need information, I want to know more. Yes, I totally understand, Christine. Totally. Absolutely. And you will do it. I believe in you, and I know and I understand that you can do it. In the middle of all of mine, I had a seizure and got a concussion, and it was really bad. Actually, I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you'll be able to tell or not. I have on my forehead what my kids call my Mercedes Benz scar, because I had a seizure in the toilet, and I fell over and smacked my head open on the tiles. Yeah. Okay, so have a great day, girls. Great to see you. Good to chat. And I will chat with you. Take the information to your therapist. Get some strategies. Get some information. And I know you can do this. Okay, bye for now.